All right, cool. All right. Let me get into this. You got Credit Karma downloaded, Nicole?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so this is somebody's credit. I'm not gonna disclose the person's name, but this is somebody's credit that I'm actually I'm using her as a credit as an example. Her credit score was in the 700s, but she had a little situation or whatever. I was able to get her a mortgage, prior to her credit score looking like this, but now she has her mortgage. It's 2 years later. She was able to get her mortgage, and now she wants to level up. So, we're back at the drawing board to do the things that I did before. So, um, her score was in the sevens. She had basically started off in the fours, so I think she had like a high 400 or something like that. We were able to work with her. She was actually really good. She basically listened to everything that I said, and we were able to get her a house within like 3 months. So if you don't know, credit's a 30-day cycle. So credit works in 30-day cycles. So like once you start to do something, you usually gotta wait typically between 30 and 45 days for, if something needs to get changed or removed or something like that off your credit. So now typically on your home, on your was it on your Credit Karma, you have a section, and this section right here, I don't use Credit Karma for the scores really. I use Credit Karma for like the factors. It just basically gives you it's like a free tool to like give you a summary basically of your credit. And over here, typically in order for you to get to 800, you want all these things to be green. And I usually tell people, once you go on your Credit Karma, you usually want to click on your lowest credit score. Once you click on your lowest credit score, then scroll down and you'll see something called credit factors, and that's where I'm at right now, but I'm just on the desktop version. So once you scroll down to credit factors, then now you can see that what's affecting your credit, what's holding you back. So like
I
uh
can see it.
yeah, so like in order for you to get a mortgage, you need a 580 credit score, right? But the thing about the 580 credit score, a lot of lenders really don't want to mess with you at 580. They typically want you at 620. So 580 can be done, but it's a lot of work for the lenders to work and get you approved. So they typically just want you to, especially in this market right now, we have more buyers than we have sellers. They can pick and choose who they deal with, and they would rather deal with a person that has a 620 rather than a 580. And on top of that, I always tell people, man, like with credit, you want to get the higher credit score, because what I'm going to teach you right now, like this thing is going to save you thousands of dollars. And this is something that cost me thousands of dollars to learn. Like, and it cost me mad time to get my stuff together. So, this all this information, just don't take it just because it's a free, Zoom call right now. Don't take it lightly, because I paid thousands of dollars for the information I'm giving you, which is it's crazy. Over the time of me trying to get my score up, right? So anyway, so on your credit factor section, you'll see what's holding your score down, right? And I'm going to teach you like these different little tactics on like how to get each one of these things in the green. All right. So now with payment history basically is self-explanatory. So like payment history, you basically would click on, if just say if that's in the red, you would click on it and then see which one of your accounts that you have a bad payment history on, if that's in the red. If this section right here is in the red, then you have a bad history somewhere. You need to click on it and see what's the problem. Now, I usually tell people, a lot of people don't know, but if you have a collection, and usually a collection would be in the derogatory marks, but if you have a collection, and it'll actually come up on the payment history as well. But if you have a collection, you don't want to go in the collection. That's usually the final stage. And you don't want to pay that collection agency because technically, legally, that company, they bought the debt from the original company. So the original company, let's say it's Bank of America. Bank of America sold the debt to whatever, LVNV funding, or whatever debt collection agency or whatever. They sold it to them for pennies in the dollar. So let's say you owed them $1,000, they'll sell it to whatever company, collection company, and then basically sell it for, like, let's say $200. And then now that collection agency is going to try to come after you for the 1,000, and then hey, well, they'll probably try to bargain with you because remember, they only paid $200 for the $1,000 debt. You thinking that you still owe $1,000, they're going to bring that up, and they're going to say, all right, well, look, if you just give us, $300, we good, right? We'll mark it as this collection is paid, and then you're all good. Now, the thing about it is, when a collection goes on your name, it don't help you. Even if it's paid, it don't help you. So the only thing that's going to really help you is if the collection agency agree to delete. Actually, somebody's coming in. Let me let them in. But let me go let this person in. So the and if you're just coming in, Alicia, I have this thing recorded. So I'm gonna have you mute your mic. So Alicia, I have this thing recorded, so I'll give you the replay of what I just talked about. But yeah, so once you once you pay, so the only way that the collection is, or that that part of this payment history section, and it has a collection agency attached to it, the only way it's going to be good for your credit is if it get erased. So if the collection agency agrees to erase, they call it paid to delete. So if they agree to, once you pay them, they will delete it off your credit. That's the only way it's going to actually affect you and your credit in a positive way. But if you pay a collection agency a debt that you owe, and then they update it and say it's paid in full or satisfactory or whatever, that don't help your credit. All right. So if this section over here, has that debt on it, and you pay for it, it don't help your credit. So in order for you to get this thing to be 100%, you need, for everything that's in there in this section of the Credit Karma, you need everything in that section to be 100% paid, on time. And if it's not paid on time, that thing needs to get erased. Period. All right. So that's that. Now the next situation is the credit usage. Credit usage is basically exactly what you use on your credit. All right. So typically, if this thing is in, and you click on this, and just Alicia, I'm gonna give you a little backstory. If you got Credit Karma right now, you want to click on your lowest credit score, and then scroll down, look for your credit factors, and this way you'll see all these sections over here. So anything, like I said, is in the red, yellow, it's basically bad and you need to fix it, and you should click on it to find out what's the problem. Now, for credit card use, this stands for, I think it's about 30 or 35% of your credit, which is a big impact on your credit. So that means if you have, for an example, for easy numbers, if you have $1,000 credit card and you owe, at the time when they report to the credit bureaus, you owe them, let's say $900, right? You use 90% of your credit. It's basically going to show up here. So now how this works, it usually, it collects all of your credit cards and basically, and then find out how much you have available to what you used. All right. So this is a collection of all your credit cards. And one of the most important things with this section right here is for you to find out what day the credit bureaus report to your credit. So if you call up your bank, whatever bank card that you have, you can call them up and be like, hey, look, when do you report? What do I have on my card? Like, what day is it? And I usually have a day for every one of my credit cards. And I'll basically, what will happen is usually I'll if I have a credit card, let's say it's $1,000, I basically, pay the balance in full, or I pay it up to like 10%. So like, let's say I have a $1,000 credit card, and I use, I use the whole $1,000 out of it. I'll put $900 on it on the day that like 3 days before they report to my credit bureaus. And then now once they check my check my credit card, they'll see that I have a $900 available and only have $100 that I owe them. So they'll report that I only use 10% of credit, and that will show here. So now anything over 30% is usually where you go into this yellow. And then I think anything past, it might be like 40 or 45%, you go into the red. So, and you could click on, the credit use, and it'll tell you like what percentage you need to be at. So, another thing, in order to help this section right here, you can literally get a we call it piggybacking, or authorized user. So if you have somebody, if you know somebody that or somebody really cool, you're cool with or whatever, you can basically piggyback off their credit. You can become an authorized user for their credit. So if you have a credit card that you basically, it's a lot of money, you don't feel like paying it down, and you have somebody else that has, like, let's say a $10,000 credit card and he owes nothing on it, his credit use will go on your credit use, and that'll help your overall utilization. All right. So I'm not gonna come up with those numbers, but you would have to do the math with whatever credit card that you become an authorized user for, and then there's people and companies that you can actually pay to become an authorized user for, like, let's say 3 months, 6 months, and stuff like that. Like I usually do it for myself. I had 2 people on it. I probably could add more, but I'm not trying to turn this thing into a business, but I have 2 people on my credit cards as an authorized user to help their credit out. All right. So that's what you could do with that. So usually this only stands for the utilizations of your credit and debt that you have. All right. And like I said, this stands for a lot of your credit card. Your credit. So like this stands for like 30% of your credit. So meaning that if this thing is like in the yellow or the red, this thing's give you credit, can put a major dent in your credit, basically, because this is 30% of your credit. All right. Now, derogatories. If you have derogatories on your credit, collections, late payments and stuff like that, it'll go into this section. If this is red, this has to be taken care of. So I have a company online where it's called, this is not my company, but it's called Credit Warriors. And inside of that company, on that website, or no, on that Facebook page, and I'm not sure if I gave it to you, but it's on there. Let me make sure nobody's trying to come on. But yeah, so it's on there, and you can basically go into that group, search derogatories or whatever, how to get collections off your credit. And most of the time they have people on there that like give out so many free advice to get rid of collections. I have a company, a guy that I work with personally. His name is Solomon Lacey, and he charges $1,500 to do a credit sweep. Now, it's a lot of money, but if you can do it on your own, do it on your own. But if you don't, like for me, I didn't do it my stuff on my own. I had somebody, I had him take my stuff off. So I paid him I actually paid him $1,800 because I had a lot of inquiries, so he charged me extra. But he was able to get my derogatories off, and he got my inquiries off. And I'm a real estate investor, so like, I need, credit. So that's why I was able to that's why I needed him, and I don't have the patience either as well. So, but like I said, it's a group. It's a group called Credit Warriors. Inside of that group, if you needed any kind of information on like anything that I'm talking about right in here, any kind of help, inside of that group, you can ask those free questions. And there's 500,000 people in that group. Ask those free questions. You can try to get these things, these little sections in your credit taken care of. All right. So, like I said, anything inside of your Credit Karma's factors section, if it's in the red, that's where you're having the situation. That's why your score can't go up, no matter what you're paying on your credit cards or whatever every month, or you're paying your bills and all that, and you're wondering why your credit can't go up. If it's in the red, that's what's hurting you. All right. Now, again with the authorized user, with this credit age, right? I think typically they want you to have like I think 7 to 8 years is when you're in the green, if I'm not lying. And you can click right on your Credit Karma, you can click on it, click on credit age, and it'll tell you where you need to be at in order for this thing to hit green. Like on each one of these sections, when you click on it, it'll tell you for each one of them, in order for you to get to the green or the yellow, it'll tell you where you need to be at. So if I'm online, I think this one is a 7 to 8 years right here for this one. Now, in order for you to get this one, how can you leapfrog and get this thing in the green? You can get somebody, and remember, they go off of the average. So like, let's say you have a credit card that's 1 year, and then somebody has one that's, let's say, 10 years. They'll average those two numbers out, and whatever that works out to be, that'll be your friggin' your years over here. So in order for you to leapfrog this thing right here, you basically can get you could become an authorized user on somebody's credit card. So if you know somebody that has good credit age on their credit. So if they had a credit card for, like, let's say 20 years, you can become an authorized user, and you can fix this section and get this into like the 8-year mark by just becoming an authorized user. But if you don't have, like right now, 4 years and adding a 10-year history is a lot easier for you to get to that green rather than having 1 year over here and then adding a 10-year credit history on it. So that means if you say you only have 1 year, then I mean you may need multiple authorized users, and I usually only tell people to do that prior to them trying to get a loan. So like if you're trying to get a mortgage, or if you're trying to get this Amex credit card or a Navy Federal credit card, you get the authorized user prior to you applying. And then once you get this thing updated, and then you could apply for the credit card, and then they'll you have a likely chance of getting these credit cards with low interest. All right, so and that's why that's where it benefits for you to do that. All right, and then another thing too, and I know that we got 10 more minutes. Another thing is when you can actually hold on. So, oh man, I actually lost my train of thought with that one. I was just thinking about something. All right, I lost my train of thought. I'm getting old, man. But anyway, all right, I'll probably go back on it when I remember. But all right, let's go back on hard inquiries. Hard inquiries, right? Hard inquiries is another thing. And total accounts is another thing. Like I said, for each one of these things, you can click on each one of these things and basically find out where you're lacking. Hard inquiries, when you click on the hard inquiries, typically you want to be under 5 inquiries. I think it's 4 actually. Let me go click on this one and go see where she's at. So I think it's 5. So, and if you're on here, you could tell me, but I think it's 5. So under 5, you'd be in the green. I don't say it over there, but I think it's 5. I think it's 5. Under 5 inquiries, you'll be in the green. So, but with inquiries doesn't stand that much. It doesn't count as much to your. It doesn't have that much of an impact to your credit. But lenders do look at that, because if you have, like, let's say, if you have, like, let's say 3 inquiries in this same month or same week or whatever, and you're trying to get a loan for somebody else, then it looks like you're begging, or you've been trying to get a loan, and let's say you haven't been getting approved. It looks like you wasn't getting you was recently just trying to get a loan. So this shows them that, so these things as well, you can get a company to erase these things. So but the only thing is that you don't want to erase the inquiries for the cards that you currently have. So if you have a good credit card attached to an inquiry here, you don't want to get that erased, because that will throw a red flag to that credit card company, and then they'll cancel your card. So you don't want to do that. So you only want to get the inquiries removed from the cards that you don't have. All right. So yeah, so that's that. So so now we should be good. Now I know Alicia got on here a little later, but I think I had you missed the fact that I was telling you about. You want to have your credit score. In order for you to get approved, you can have a 580 credit score, but 580 is usually harder. Lenders in this market, we're in a seller's market. There's more buyers in the market than sellers. So when they're looking at an application and they're looking and they're weighing their options out, they're like, all right, well, we got this person with a 650 credit score, we got this person with a 580. I'm gonna work with the guy with the 650 because the 580, he's too much, he's too much of a high risk, they call it. So typically you just want the minimum they want right now typically is 620, but people will work with you at 580, but I would say 620 is really the sweet spot. And in order for you to find out that real number, to find out where you're at, you don't go on Credit Karma to find out that number. That number is found out on myfico.com. Myfico.com, when you click on that, you click on your mortgage score, and that's the exact score that they're using. They're using your mid score, your middle score on myfico.com. All right. Credit Karma is a platform, and it only has your vintage score. And most lenders don't use your vintage score. So the reason why I have you guys on this Credit Karma, because Credit Karma is good for your factors, but your FICO score is usually what everybody uses. And another thing with FICO is, I have a subscription to FICO, my FICO, and usually whatever you're trying to apply for, you can go into my FICO, click on that section. Let's say, because they had a couple of sections. They got credit card section, mortgage section, auto loan section. And if you're trying to apply for auto loan, there's a set of scores just for your auto loans. If you're trying to apply for a mortgage, there's a set of scores for just mortgages. All right. So, you're more than likely for them to use those scores. And then the next thing is to know what bureau that lender is using to give you the loan, right? Because every lender may use different bureaus. Like one lender might be heavy on Equifax, one lender is heavy on TransUnion, one lender heavy on Experian. So it's good to know what bureau these companies are using. Another trick that I usually do is for me to get, and this is how I got my $10,000 DCU credit card. That's digital credit union credit card. I got a lot of credit union credit cards, and how I was able to do that was they use Equifax. So what I did was, and sometimes they will use Experian, but my Equifax is my highest score. So what I did was you can basically freeze your other credit bureaus and basically just have them forced to use one bureau. So you force them to use one bureau, and typically you want to have them use your highest credit bureau so that you can get the better rates. All right. So, and those are like the little tricks that you want to do when you're trying to get approved, for a credit card. Now, another trick when you're trying to get an Amex credit card. Amex is usually use Experian. So, but sometimes they'll use TransUnion. But most Amex cards, or not most Amex cards, some Amex cards they'll use that one credit inquiry that they gave you, right here. They'll use that one inquiry, that one credit pull, and you can get many cards off of that one credit pull. So that's one of the card companies that actually do that. So that's actually good to know. So So do you guys have any questions about what I'm talking about? Does everything sound too much or too crazy, or was it good?
It's very informative, and I'm definitely standing here taking notes.
Got it. Who's that, Nicole? Oh, that's
yes, it is.
That's Nicole? Got it. And I just got hold on, I just got Alicia just gave me a thumb up.
I don't know if my camera is my camera on now.
I see your camera, Nicole.
Alicia it's in and out.
Thumbs up. Yeah, I guess she know how to use the Zoom, so she good. I just got a thumbs up from her. All right, cool. So what did you find informative in the Zoom? Nicole?
Say that again.
What was the information that you didn't know that you were happy that you knew today?
Well, that was one thing is the one you just talked about freezing your credit. I'm going to look into the credit warriors and about the companies and the authorized users and how to check all this during my on my credit karma.
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, that's actually like I said, there's 500,000 people inside of that group that's trying to, trying to get mortgage, trying to get credit cards and all this other stuff, and they're giving out information. And at the end of the day, I always say like when somebody's giving out information and you ain't got to pay them, like it's a different kind of information, you know. So they're not holding back anything. Like they're giving you everything from, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I always feel like, those groups are really, really really, really helpful. I made some really good connections inside of that group. So it's really good to be in there. So Alicia, you got any questions? I think Alicia don't she might not know how to unmute her phone. Alicia, you all right? She probably exited out.
Hello.
Alicia, how you doing?
I'm okay.
How you like the information so far?
It's interesting. I actually been like watching a lot of YouTube videos
Yeah,
as to how to fix my credit,
got it.
and a lot of it's working. And the only thing I kind of got left to fix is a few things and those hard inquiries.
Yeah. So I have a guy that can erase those inquiries if you want, or you
Mhm.
can. I have a link. I could send you a link on you trying to do it myself. I have a link. I did the method myself, but I wasn't able
Okay.
to get everything off. That's the thing. So like I said, I don't have the patience. I got 6 kids. So I either don't have the patience or I don't have the time. So I did some myself. And the thing about it, when you're fixing your credit yourself, you're spending a lot of time on the phone. So if you have that time, I have the link. Like you can get on it and do it yourself. Or if you don't have the time, I have a dude that can erase them. So
Okay. Can you send me both of the informations you just said?
yeah, so just message me on Facebook so you could give me a
Okay.
reminder, and then I'll add you in a group chat with the dude. His name is Solomon Lacey. I don't get paid
Okay.
for none of this I'm doing right now, so I just want you guys to know I don't get paid off for none of this stuff. Like I just do this thing to try to help my community out.
I really appreciate all the information that you're giving us.
All good, all good. So this is something that like this has been like in my heart because I didn't have this information given to me. And this caused me years of getting a house. So I feel like we're lacking in the credit space, and it's one of the most important things in building wealth in this country. So that's why I'm spending my time on, like, at least I'm saying if I can dedicate at least a half an hour a month doing this, then I did my fair share. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'll put you inside of the group chat with Solomon, and then I'll also give you the link, the free link to erase those hard inquiries yourself. So if you need that as well, Nicole, I'll give it to you as well. And what I beg for on this on these Zoom calls, what I beg for is for you not to hold the information yourself. Like whatever information I give you here, like you spread that to somebody else. Like, yo, I got this information from this dude or whatever. Here's what you need to do. Don't hold back, because this is how you get your blessings as well. So always share the information that you get, with people that actually want to hear, right? Obviously. Um, and yeah, so I don't have anybody. So yeah, but that's it, man. I mean, for me, I bought and sold, just to give you a little background on myself. I bought and sold over 200 properties in the last 2 years. So I've been involved in a lot of real estate transactions. So I do know the game very well. Yeah. So my parents are immigrants, came up here with nothing. Basically, my aunt, she died a multimillionaire. My parents made out very well, and now I'm 6 kids. I got a couple of properties of my own. Everything that I'm telling you guys to do is exactly what I did myself. I was able to bring up my credit score from a 493 to a 829. That was my highest credit score. Right now, my lowest credit score, I think, is like a 750 or something like that. And my highest right now is about an 819, because I've been using it and messing around or whatever. But I'm always using my credit to because the thing about it, and I'm gonna give you guys a little story. I got an investor, and this is actually what really made me start to focus and really dial in on my credit. But I got an investor that I work with. Dude has well over friggin' $10 million. From what he already showed me, he has $10 million, but I know he has way over $10 million as far as assets and net worth, I would say, as well. But this is an investor that I work with from New York, and we were supposed to be trying to buy a property, and it was a $300,000 property. And this dude comes to me. He's like, yo, I got to go talk to my lender. And I'm like, your lender? What the fuck? Like, this dude got over $10 million in the account, like showed me proof of funds of that and all that. Like, so I'm like, hold on. And he's like, yeah, I'm talking to my lender. Yeah, I always get loans. Like, I don't never use my own money. It's like, you crazy? And that's what, like, the light bulb hit. Like, hold on. A lot of these fucking guys aren't using their own money. And then that's when I started to dig deep with a lot of the people that I was working with. And I was like, oh shit. Like, so meaning all my life, I was trying to get up the money to buy a house. So I was like, oh, well, what do I need credit when I got the cash? And meanwhile, the people that are multimillionaires are using other people's money. So that's when I really started to dial in and start to focus more on credit. So that's what I'm telling you guys this, is to tell you that the rich don't focus on the cash, they focus on credit. So this right here, this information right here, this is where these people build generational wealth. This is where they build the wealth, So you want to build wealth, focus on your credit, use other people's money, and then not only buying your own property, but buy investment properties, with other people's money. Buy investment properties, have a tenant basically pay off that investment property. So later on, now you have a house that's fully paid off, that was paid off from a tenant and a lot of people will always tell me, hey, look, I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to deal with landlords. I don't want to deal with tenants. You don't have to deal with them. You can literally have a property manager, a company, basically collect the rent from the tenant, and basically they'll give you the difference out of that, and then you'll collect whatever it is, $300, $400 a property, until that house is paid off, when you have now sitting on a $200,000 house fully paid off. So and you don't have to deal with the property. You don't have to deal with the evictions, nothing. You can just collect the money from the property manager, and she deal with all the phone calls that the toilet ain't working and all that. She'll deal with all that. So you don't have to deal with people. So you can basically use other people's money, buy these properties, and basically sit back, collect the differences a month, and every 5 years or so, you can take out a loan on the property tax-free, and take a loan out on the property tax-free and chill. So the house basically can actually become, or can be used as an ATM, tax-free ATM. Every 5 years, because usually, by that time, 5 years, you have enough equity in it where that you can pull out, and that's actually worth the closing costs when you have to pull the money out. So that's on another topic. I'm probably going a little too deep, but yeah, that's basically that. But that's longevity. But yeah, man, I hope I was able to give you guys enough knowledge on this, because I know that this little information right here is enough for you to get everything together. And if you need anything besides this, just hit me up. I'm always available, usually between 9 and 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, I'm usually spending time with the family, but 9 to 12 o'clock, usually I'm in the office, and from like 12 to like 6, I'm on appointments. Trying to get houses, and trying to get others houses and stuff. So that's basically it. So like I said, guys, I'm really happy you guys were able to come on. And like I said, one of the biggest things, one of the gifts that you can give me back is getting your credit to the the 800 700s point. And the next thing is to actually not hold the information here with yourself, share it with others. All right. So so I hope I did everything. I did everything actually to my best of my ability, but I hope you guys were able to take the information in, and I hope you guys can use it.
Yes, I did, and I thank you for it.
No problem. So all right, so I'm gonna end the recording, and like I said, message me if you guys I know, what was it Alicia, you needed the inquiries removed, or both of you guys needed it?
Well, actually, we both do. So you can send me the information as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna send. So just both of you guys message me on Facebook, and I'll send it to you right there.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.